Namaste to all. I was seeing a video in YouTube, a channel run by one guy called as Sam Stallone, and he has been making so many videos against Hinduism and Vedas. And in one of the video, he was mentioning about our Vedas even 1% authentic. If anybody from Arya Samaj can dare to prove me that even if 1% of Vedas is authentic, then I am ready to accept Vedic religion or Vedic Dharma. And he made an open debate, and he had a open session for 4 hours. I think nobody joined from Arya Samaj. 1 or 2 guys joined who were not able to understand what is or explain what is Vedas, etc., and they left out. And this guy declared himself to be the winner, and then he said that Vedas are not authentic because there is no proof that Vedas are authentic. And some people came to my channel and asked me that why don't you debate with Sam, etc. Debate with Sam cannot happen because the concept of God in Islam and the concept of God in Vedas are completely opposite. Islam does not match even 1% with Vedas. Almighty God says in Vedas about so many divine qualities which does not tally with Quran. Especially the most basic is the name of Almighty God. For example, the name of Almighty God, the best name of Almighty God in the Vedas is Om, whereas there is no mention about Om in Quran. And Quran speaks about Allah and other 99 names of Almighty God, which does not tally with the Vedas. So the fundamentals are totally different. So there is no point in debating, and the debate will end nowhere, and no one will be able to get benefited out of debate except for satisfaction of ego. For example, if I win the debate, I will be satisfied, my ego is satisfied. If Sam wins the debate, the Islam people or the Muslim people and Sam will be satisfied that I won the debate. And I would like to clarify that I am not an Arya Samaji, I am a Vedic follower. I am studying Vedas from my Acharya for the last 18 years. Now coming to authenticity of the Vedas, this guy was asking a proof that do you have a manuscript? Do you have a paper of Vedas which is so many thousand years old, which can be having a carbon, we can study the carbon dating and then prove that okay, this paper what you have is 5000 years old, so Vedas are older than Quran. Whereas if you ask me, I have the carbon dating paper of Quran originally written, it is 1400 years old, it is all proved in the science laboratory. So I have the original manuscript which is written by Prophet Muhammad and his followers, etc., which is 1400 years old. So Quran is authentic, Vedas is not authentic was his point. Maybe logically he is right. See, it is like this. If I lose my passport, if I lose my driving license, if I lose my Aadhaar card, then it is like saying that you don't exist. That is not the case. See, the paper written manuscript is not Vedas. We have to understand the definition of Vedas. Vedas are tasmat yajnat sarvabhutah richah samani jajjire. Vedas are knowledge of Almighty God which emanates from Almighty God. Vedas are not written text. Okay, whatever is written by Vyas Muni is called as Veda Samhita. He did not write Vedas, he documented Vedas in the book. Vedas are not book. Even today also you cannot understand Vedas by reading books because Vedas are not books. The Almighty God never gave the knowledge of Vedas in terms of book or writing in pen and paper, pencil, etc. God always emanates the knowledge of Vedas inside the soul because God is formless. God does not have the body. God does not speak or dictate. For example, I think Quran says that God gave the knowledge to angel gave it to Prophet Muhammad. So that means God has to give the knowledge to angel and the angel has to come and tell to Prophet Muhammad and he writes in the book, then it becomes Quran. Whereas Vedas clearly says Almighty God emanates inside the heart of a rishi. Even today also, the definition of Vedas is, if anybody who attains Samadhi by intense Ashtanga Yoga Tapasya and Veda Adhyayan, by controlling his senses, by adopting Brahmacharya, by following the Vedic Dharma, he will attain Samadhi, and in the Samadhi he attains the Vedic knowledge direct from Almighty God even today. So Vedas are not books. So just because a manuscript is lost, that does not mean that Vedas are not old. In fact, Vedas are not old language. For example, Atharvaveda says that Vedas are namamarna jiryati. It is never destroyed, it is never old. It is always new. Whenever you read Gayatri Mantra, for example, or any Ved Mantra, it is always new. And Vedas do not have the, let's say, the rule book that you have to by heart all the 20,000 mantras. There is no rule book in the Vedas. Vedas only says that listen it from the Acharya and follow in the life. Listen it from the Acharya and follow in the life. The Acharya will explain to you in your language. For example, if you go to an Acharya who is a yogi and who can speak Tamil, he will explain to you in Tamil. If it's Hindi, he will explain in Hindi. It's Urdu, he will explain in Urdu based on whatever knowledge that Acharya knows and you know in common, he can explain you in your language. Vedas need not be by hearted. Whereas in other religion, for example, Quran or Bible, they have a rule that it has to be by hearted. And then many people, many Islam, brothers, they say that, there are millions of Islamists, Muslims who knows Quran by heart. So Quran can never be lost. That is their point. Yeah, very good point. But Quran can never be lost only until this world is surviving. When this world is ending, every book written by Rishi Munis or by any human beings will get lost. In the next universe, when God creates the next universe, no knowledge of this universe will exist. God will again emanate the knowledge of Vedas inside the heart of the Rishis, as told by God that Surya Chandra Masaudata Yata Purvam Kalpayat. After the final destruction of the universe, when the God creates the new universe, again the sun, moon, etc. will be created as it is by Almighty God, and the knowledge of the Vedas, Tasmat Yajnat Sarvahota, will again emanate from God inside the heart of 4 Jivatmas or 4 Rishis, we can say. So there is no need for debate, and there is no need for authenticity to be proved, because the person who is certifying the authenticity, for example, it is like, saying that one Indian and one American are fighting. That I am an Indian, I am fighting with an American. I am saying I am the president of India. The American says I am the president of America. I am saying I am the president of India. He is saying I am the president of America. Neither I am the president of India nor he is president of America. We are just fighting, which is waste of time. So the authenticity need not be certified by Sam. If Sam certifies you are authentic, that does not mean that Vedas will be authentic. If Sam certifies that Quran is authentic, that does not mean that Quran will be authentic. It has to be tallied and verified with the knowledge of Vedas, because any book, for example, I will tell you, E equal to mc square is the Einstein theory of relativity. If I write a book and then say that E equal to mc square and then put my name and print a book, tomorrow I say that I only found out E equal to mc square, people will laugh. People say that you have copied from Einstein. Similarly, if Quran says that God is formless, if Quran says His Almighty God is one, it is a knowledge which is copied from Vedas. For example, Quran says that the moonlight is coming from the sun. It is the knowledge which is coming from Atharvaveda and Rigveda, which is already mentioned several thousand years back. Of course, you will not believe that it is several thousand years back because you don't have a manuscript, but that does not change the truth. See, when it comes to truth, it is very simple. Truth is, that's why, people say that when you speak truth, you don't have to remember anything. That is why Vedas need not be remembered. Even you remember Vedas or not remember Vedas, God and His Vedic rules are always applicable to all the human beings. God says in Rigveda 3rd Mandal that nobody in this earth, none of the earth or the powerful, let's say the Panchabhutas, nor even the Rishi Muni Yogi Tapasvis who are Brahmalin, they can change my rules. My rules are unchangeable, unchallengeable. So similarly, if the whole world forgets Vedas, if the whole world forget Almighty God, if the whole world converts into Islam religion tomorrow, that does not mean that God will also change His religion. God will always be in His Vedic Dharma, and God will always be God only. The description of God can be found only from the Vedas. We have to be very clear on the fundamentals. It doesn't matter that Sam accepts Vedas are authentic or unauthentic, it doesn't matter. Nothing is going to change. And lastly, I want to conclude my video, very simple thing. What is the subject matter of Vedas and what is the subject matter or ultimate realization of Quran? This has to be clearly understood. I don't want to go into Quran. You all know probably that Quran speaks about, Swarg, hell and heaven. That, if somebody does deeds as per Quran, he will go to heaven and then he will get 72 hurs, etc. Which is not the subject matter of Vedas. Subject matter of Vedas is Indrisayam, control of senses, doing intense Ashtanga Yoga Tapasya, even in the Grahastha Ashram. Everyday moral duties, family duties you should do, and then everyday worship you should do. And the main aim of Vedas, as mentioned in Purusha Sukta and also in all the 4 Vedas, so many mantras are there. The main aim of Vedas is the realization of Almighty God and escaping from the birth and death cycle. God says, Veda ahmetam purusham mahantam aditya varnam tamasah parastat tameva viditvati mrityumeti nanyah pantaha. There is no other path to escape the birth and death cycle except other than realizing the Almighty God, who is Aditya Varnam, who is Jyoti Swarup, who is Mahantam, who is the ultimate Mahapurush, who is the creator of the universe. Unless and otherwise you realize that Almighty God, by following the Vedic path, you can never escape Mrityu, the cycle of birth and death. This is very, very clearly the object and subject of Vedas. And based on the subject of this object of Vedas only, all the darshanas, all the Upanishads have been written by rishis for us to follow the path of Vedas. Upanishads will take you to Vedas. If you read Mahabharata, it will take you to Vedas, because Mahabharata cannot give you salvation. Ramayana cannot give us salvation. Upanishads cannot give us salvation. Darshanas cannot give us salvation. They will take us to Almighty God. And the message of Almighty God is very simple. Almighty God is not known without Vedas. Vedas is not known without an Acharya. And without knowing Almighty God, you cannot escape the cycle of birth and death, or you cannot attain moksha. So the subject matter of Vedas is Almighty God. If you get satisfied the subject matter of Quran is 72 hoods in the heaven, etc., then you go ahead with that Quran. There is no point in debate only. No, you lost the debate. Know Your Vedas channel lost the debate. You can tell anything. There is absolutely not going to change anything, because the subject matter itself is different. The subject or the object of both the Vedas and the other books are completely different. Vedas speaks about Indri Sayam. There is no concept of Brahmacharya, Indri Sayam, Yam Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, etc. in other books. It is only available in the Vedic Dharma. So it is up to us people to take. See, because why so many people, one Muslim brother was asking me, if you see that Vedas are knowledge of Almighty God, then why people are not adopting Vedas? Why God is not promoting Vedas? See, people do not want Almighty God. People want only the sensual pleasure, enjoyments. I want to eat non-vegetarian food. I want to do anything what I want. End of the day, I will ask for forgiveness and I will go to heaven. This is not the subject of Vedas. God never forgives as per Vedas. God says that I can never forgive except one sin. Because that sin is not done by you. Unknowingly by birth, you have been fed non-vegetarian food. But one day you realize that killing other animals is a sin. Then you leave the non-veg food. In Atharveda, God says only that sin I will forgive. If you leave the non-veg food forever, then I will forgive you all the sins of your previous thing which you ate non-veg food. Otherwise, God never forgives sins. Whereas in other religions, you go and ask forgiveness, God will forgive. God will give you heaven. This concept is not tallying with Vedas. None of the concept will tally between Vedas and Quran, because one is man-made, other one is Almighty God made. It doesn't matter that you don't accept the authenticity. Even 1% you prove, I will adopt. You don't need to adopt Vedas. It's very simple. Vedas do not, it is our own interest that I want to adopt Vedas. No, there is no force from Almighty God. God says you have a free will. It is up to you to accept Vedas or to reject Vedas. You have a free will. But the end of the day, the karma fall is given by Almighty God. That we have to always remember. So, in short, I will not debate, but that does not change the truthfulness of Almighty God. That does not change the truthfulness of Vedic Dharma. Yes, if you want to have peace, see, last 1400 years, so many people, almost the second largest religion in the world. Where is peace in the world? There is no peace in the world. There cannot be peace in the world because Almighty God does not exist there. There can be peace in the world, like example, when we see Upanishad or Ramayana, etc. There were everybody in peaceful state because everybody was following Almighty God. Today, people say religion of peace, but everywhere there is no peace because this is man-made. This is not Almighty God made. So there is no need for debate. Many people commented to me like, you will be destroyed in 5 minutes if you go to, debate with Sam, etc. Yeah, I can be destroyed because I don't have a manuscript proof to prove. But that does not matter at all. What matters is what is the improvement in your life towards Almighty God is what is going to matter. What is the tapasya you are going to do, and what is the inner peace you are going to find by adopting the Vedic path. Otherwise, if you want to do a sensual pleasure, then you can be atheist also. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.